Good evening to the bearded brethren of the No Shave November Evangelism Challenge. Tonight, now that I know the actual date, is December the 9th, 2025. And tonight we're going to continue looking at certain aspects of the Sermon on the Mount from Jesus. And actually, I'm going to turn this way a little bit because that fan in the background might be distracting. So I'm going to go this way a little bit so people can't see it if it's bothersome. All right, so I'm going to read here, and then we're all going to feel really bad about ourselves really quickly. Hold on, let me get to it. So this is, this is Matthew chapter 5. These are going to be verses 27 through 30. Okay, so here we go, guys. This isn't just directed at the guys, but it's important. You'll see. You have heard that it was said, "You shall not commit adultery." But I say to you that everyone who looks at a woman with lustful intent has already committed adultery with her in his heart. If your right eye causes you to sin, tear it out and throw it away. For it is better that you lose one of your members than your whole body be thrown into hell. And if your right hand causes you to sin, cut it off and throw it away. It is better that you lose one of your members than your whole body go into hell. Okay, I'm just going to stop with that one tonight because boy, that's a lot to digest. All right, so once again, Jesus is saying, this is what the elders and the law said. And what does it say? You don't commit adultery. We know that that's in the Ten Commandments. Don't commit adultery. Once again, along with what we were looking at with anger, that part's okay. Like, I can do that. I can, quote, not commit adultery. I've never committed adultery in my marriage. We've been married, 20 odd years? Let's see, it's 2005. So we've been married 21 years. I've never committed adultery. But the problem with what Jesus tells us is, yeah, that might be true, but that's not ultimately the point. The point is, you can't even lust after a woman. Because if you lust after a woman, and okay, I know it says lust after a woman, but this can go either way. This could be a woman lusting after a man or a man lusting after a woman. Maybe Jesus said it this way because he knows that maybe this is maybe a bigger issue for men than women, but that doesn't mean it's not an issue for women. But when we lust after somebody, it means we are wanting to do that with them. And we're imagining that, and that is adultery. Just like with anger being murder, lust is adultery. So yes, I've never physically had an affair, but my mind, man, that's a problem. Okay, and in my mind, I have been unfaithful. Now this is one of those things that you might say, all right, let's not get too crazy here. This is just natural. This is a part of life. This is biology, right? Everybody deals with this. It's not a big deal. It's not hurting anybody. Sorry, that's not what Jesus says. Jesus says, no, it's adultery. Let's think about it this way. And not only is this serious, he literally says, if your right eye causes you to sin, pluck it out. Gouge your eye out or cut your hand off rather than let it make you a sinner and send you to hell. Now, of course, Jesus isn't really saying to cut your hand or eye, or cut out your eye, because if he did, the church would have been doing that, for the past 2,000 years, and we'd all be walking around blind with no hands. So he's using hyperbole, right? He's making a point, by the way, saying sin is serious and lust is serious. And here's why. Let's think about this. I am thinking about another person the way I should only think about my wife. And that's not fair to her. And it's also not fair to that other person. Because guess what? When I think about another woman that way, that's not my wife. If that person's not married, maybe they will be in the future, that's supposed to be another man's wife. Right? That's for them, not for us. And when I do that to to a woman that I'm not married to, I'm objectifying that woman and basically saying, you exist, you don't deserve dignity and respect because you're made in God's image. You are an object there to serve my needs and what I want out of you, and then I'm going to discard you. That's exactly what lust is doing. So you can understand why this is a big deal. It doesn't just cheapen you or your spouse or your future spouse if you don't already have one, because it means God's got that person for you, and this belongs between the two of you. It also says to the other person, you're an object to me. I can use you at will and discard you. That's not the way God meant relationships to be. He meant it to be true love and not feeling, sacrificial love, wanting the best for other people, even at the expense of yourself. Just like God said with, hey, take your gift. Don't give me your gift if you've got a problem with your brother. Straighten that out first, then give me your gift. We have to love like he loved us. So he loves us that much. He wants us to be people that love each other to this extent that we will even understand that lusting after people is wrong. And think about what a beautiful life that is, that where we truly respect each other with that dignity that we all truly deserve. So yes, it's bad news in that, yes, it's a struggle, and the struggle's real for all people. But the good news is what? We are forgiven and free. Now, that doesn't mean we take our sin lightly. Jesus is like, no, this is a big deal. But we're forgiven and loved. Think about it, share it. We'll see where we land tomorrow.